see. Okay, it's 2:01 by my clock. Hello and welcome to my kitchen. This is really strange for me because I have a phone pointed towards me. I can't see any of your replies or questions. So at the end of my presentation, I'll flip the phone around, and actually I'll take it off the stand and we'll I'll field some questions for you, okay? I really do wish I could, Candy and I could be here and do this properly at Companion Parrot Tree Home, but due to circumstances beyond our control, it's pretty neat because we get to think outside of the box. I still get to teach you guys. I miss your faces because it's hard to gauge if you're smiling, thumbs up, thumbs down, from a little black box I'm looking at. But anyway, my name's Wendy Whitesides. I am the Director of Education here at Companion Parrot Tree Home, and this is a little talk on sprouting. In our Fun with Food workshop, we talk about sprouting, veggies, fruits, bad foods, good foods, and basically how to make up a delicious mash for your birds. But sprouting takes a little bit more time, and actually when we start to really look at it, everybody should be doing this. Not just for your birds, but for yourself, because there's a lot of nutrition in sprouting. So, the reasons why we sprout, our birds we need to offer them a diverse diet, because parrots are from where? They're from all over the world. They're from Africa, Australia, South America, Brazil, Belize, I mean everything from the equator down. Also, pellets are not a complete diet, okay? All the research that has been done on pellets has been documented on chickens. Now, chickens normally eat a lot of soybean, wheat, corn, things that do not grow in the wild. So, we need to diversify our diets. Pellets are a good standby. We feed Tops at the store, at the organization. Tops is a wonderful pellet filled with lots of great ingredients, which you have learned about in Parrot 101. Sprouts are very nutritious. They're readily accepted by most parrots, most birds, because they're very similar to what birds eat in the wild. And it's very economical. You can take a quarter cup of a seed mix and it yields about a cup of sprouts. Also, when your birds start to eat more natural foods like this, they tend to eat less, which is interesting. But let's talk about the nutrition behind seeds. Now, dried seeds are little powerhouses, and they contain all the nutrients needed to help a plant grow. Everything lies dormant. But give it a 10 to 12 hour soak. Your enzymes become active and start converting stored starches into simple sugars. The split long chain proteins into free amino acids. They convert the fats into free fatty acids. And all the vitamins, minerals, and anything that's unique to your seed or grain becomes released. And another thing, once you soak something, and sprouts are very easy to digest. Let's talk about our friend, the sunflower seed. Sunflower seeds have a very, very bad rap. Excuse me. But have you noticed when you grow a sunflower seed outside, from that little itty bitty seed becomes this great 6 to 12 foot plant? Well, in our sunflower seed, which I lovingly call the French fry of dried seeds, once it's sprouted, it releases all the B vitamins, vitamin A, D, E, proteins, tryptophan, calcium, copper, iron, magnesium, phosphorus, potassium, selenium, zinc, phytosteroids, and unsaturated good fats. When we feed it dry, it's a fatty food that causes fatty liver disease. So, just by soaking something for 10 to 12 hours, turns it into a dynamo of nutrition. That's also with our nuts too, like your walnuts, almonds. You soak them overnight. You can sprout them too, but it makes them more digestible, and it turns them into a powerhouse of nutrition. So the bottom line on sprouting, why you should sprout, is that sprouts contain 10 to 100 times more enzymes than raw fruits and vegetables. The vitamins, minerals, amino acids, protein levels increase by 200 to 1200%. Okay, you don't get that from raw veggies and food. The thing is with sprouts, it's a living organism. Okay, and then like a sprouted mung bean, this bean sprouts very easily, but it increases the vitamin A content by 285%. Most of our birds are vitamin A deficient. That's another thing of why we should sprout, because we can help fill in some of that nutritional imbalance by providing them raw, live food. Okay, so how do you sprout? You need a sprouting container. What we have here, this is called the Easy Sprout. It's a kit. Parrot University sells these. And let's unfold this kit and see everything that's inside of it. Okay, this is manufactured by Sproutimo, which is a U.S., it's made in the USA. So we want to buy from the U.S. Okay, inside this kit is created from China Prairie. So it has some of China Prairie's products in it. In here we have a GSC stabilizer, which I'll talk about in a little bit. And they also have a universal additive. I've never used that, but this is included in there. Okay. Also, in this kit it comes with a sample of a cytosine blend. They have 3 blends, which we have in the store. Right now we have a cytosine, which is for your bird's conure size up. We have a micrograin, which is for conure size down. Also your African Greys and Amazons like the micrograin too. And then there's the Thrive blend, which can only be soaked and served, or you can soak and sprout it. So this comes to the kit. This is the 8-ounce package. Okay, now what's really cool about the way these are constructed, you have an outside container, an inside container, and this inside container has slits. Okay. You also have, this is if you're sprouting broccoli, radish seeds, or your micrograin seeds, and this fits right in the bottom here. And what is wonderful about this is the way they're constructed. It's all based on physics. Okay, it creates a good airflow ventilation while your seeds are sprouting. And what happens here is, well, let me back this up. Let's continue unpacking. So we have our outer inner, our insert. This is a dome that can be used as a measuring cup or to increase the ventilation. Then you have a ventilated lid and a solid lid if you want to take your sprout, like some people sprout and take them with them when they go, so you can have this. Okay, so like I said, the way this works is that your sprouts, once you've started the initial process, which we're going to talk about in a moment, but once they're sitting here like this, sprouts create heat, okay, like anything, because of the way that it's constructed, where they go up and down like this. In the middle is a heat core. So it is pulling fresh air through the sides here. Here's a better illustration. It's pulling fresh air down through here, pulling it up and through your sprouts, and the heat escapes out the top. So you have great ventilation. You're not going to get any sorts of fungus, bacterial growth, unless it's like super humid, and we'll talk about how we compensate or take care of that. But the design of this is perfect. I have not lost a set of sprouts yet by using this. And you know what is interesting? I used this before it was cool to use it. I mean, it's being pushed a lot lately because people realize that this is a great avenue for sprouting. I've been using this probably since like 2016, I think that's when I started sprouting. But it's, you know, I was like, oh, easy sprout? Well, I'll give it a try. But you know what? It is truly easy. And we're going to talk about how we do it from here. Okay, so we've unpacked this. So what we want to do here is you need to pick a sprout mix that you like. There's a lot available. Parrot U has some. In this I have like I said, we have started to carry some sprouting mixes, and we have the containers, or the kits. We have a Citizen kit, a microgreen kit, and a Thrive kit. And they're all basically pretty much the same. Okay, so after you've picked your kit and want to see, what you want to do here is get your blend and pour. I mean, you can use this. Usually it's a quarter cup. It's what you want to do in here. I have 2 birds that I feed, so I do about a quarter to a half cup of seed. Okay. In fact, you know, I'm gonna sprout this out later. So you put that in your container. And then what we want to do, we want to wash these. Because, you know, China Prairie, a lot of people do a good job in their seeds, but keeping the seeds clean and healthy, but it doesn't hurt to have that extra bit of cleaning going on. So, what you want to do, I'm not going to do this here yet, is that you will fill it up about half, you know, to cover the seeds. Take your cleansing jelly. If you've been to Parrot 101, we talk about this as a great cleaning product to clean your birds' cages, your houses, your floors, your windows, yourself, your vegetables. I mean, this is a body shampoo, bubble bath, shaving cream, spot remover, dish soap, and much more. I mean, I've used it to clean my paneling downstairs before I painted it, and that was a job in itself, but we're not going to go there. So what you want to do is after you've covered your seeds, maybe like, you know, an inch above there, you want to put a drop. Okay, this stuff is super concentrated, so you want to put a drop in the water, because if you put it if you add this first and then the water, it's going to be a bubbly mess. So after you have added your seeds, you want to mix it around and then let it sit for about 3 to 5 minutes. Okay, so after that, after it's set for a while, you've got it all cleaned off, you want to take your seeds out. Okay, dump this, and then go over and rinse your seeds underwater for about 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, to just give it a nice fresh shower to get off any of the residue that might be left. And then what we want to do is to fill it up with some cool, clear water. I have a filter on my water, cool, clean water. You want to fill it up probably 2 to 3 parts of water to 1 part of seed. And then what you can do after you fill that up, put your lid on it, let it sit for 10 to 12 hours. Okay, so in the morning, the best way to do this is you get sort of in a routine. You can set that up for yourself. But the way I do things that works for my schedule is I have 1 batch in the fridge and I have another batch on the counter. So I don't want to get ahead of myself. So, okay. After we have soaked for 12 hours, 10 to 12 hours, or overnight, I should say, you want to take this out. And you'll notice that when you do this, that in the bottom, all the water and that is really dark or brownish. This is great plant food, so you don't want to just chuck it. Go water your plants with that. My peace lilies look the best they've ever looked since I've started to water them with this. Okay, so afterwards here, you want to rinse this really good, 2 to 3 minutes, because you want to give it a good bath. Okay. Then after that, I'm going to switch containers because I have a batch, not this one, this one. I have a batch that needs to, that needs to be dipped in GSC. We dip in GSC after each rinse because it inhibits, I would say, 99% of any bacterial fungal growth. You don't have to, but it's not a bad idea. Personally, I probably dip half of my stuff. If I'm sprouting for the store, for our class, you bet your bottom dollar I'm dipping in GSE, which is this. But for when the weather's cool like this, it's really not necessary because every time you rinse, you are getting rid of any fungal or bacterial spores that possibly could have started. And then the way the structure of this Easy Sprouter is very hard for them to grow in. Okay, so I have let me move my chair. We'll move this way. I have a blend that needs to be rinsed. Let me bring this over here. Okay. So I'm going to, back to after your first initial soak. When you pull it out of, after you rinse it, really good, is that you want to get the most water off the seeds as possible before you put it back into the container. So let's back this up, okay? These have been soaked. I gave them the initial rinse. In fact, let's do a little bit more. Rinsing them really, really good. Okay, I would probably rinse more, but you don't want to sit and watch me rinse for about a minute or two. So, and also, I'm just wrapping them against the side of my sink here, and that gets most of this down, most of the water down. So when it's pretty much fluid free, that's when I put it back into the canister, back into the outer sleeve. And there's little lips in here, or bridges, notches, whatever. You want to raise it up onto this, and then you want to, wait, I have to dip, sorry. I am dipped. Okay, so now I have rinsed. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, since I have rinsed really good, sorry about that. That's the problem with things being live, okay? And I've never done a live sprouting thing. Okay, so we're getting ready to dip it in GSC. GSC is known as grapefruit seed extract. The kind I'm holding here comes directly from Nutrobiotics. You can do your research on Nutrobiotics. It's a great manufacturer, and China Prairie buys it in the big bin, and then they repackage it, which we have in the store, which is included in your kit, which is right here. So I figured I would use that. So from here, okay, I have filled this halfway full, okay? So what we want to do is 1, 2, 3 drops, okay? 3 drops in here. There's the other lid, that's this one. Okay, and then we just want to mix it around, okay? For about, 30 seconds or so. After that, we pull it out. Okay, you dump what's left there. And here's where I did all this previously. Well, you need to do it again. Actually, you don't need to do it the first time because you're going to dip. And get all as much water off as you can. And then you put it back in the container, like so. Put this lid on it, and then the whole process starts again. So I'm going to put this over here. All right, and then that is basically it. You want to rinse 2 to 3 times a day if your schedule can do it. Like I said, I sort of get in a habit of I will start my soaking at night. In the morning, I'll rinse and dip and start the sprouting process. So after you've started it, you want to rinse them 2 to 3 times a day. After each rinsing, you can dip. And if you have any apprehensions about any fungal bacterial growth, dip. It's in your kit. Might as well use it. This also has a lot of other therapeutic and disinfecting properties to it. It is in some nasal sprays because it kills bacteria. And it's very, you can take it internally if you are feeling ill. You just got to do your research on it. It is acidic, but then again, you know, they're not going to publish anything on it because it's it's a plant-based product, which drug companies can't make any money on. So, like I said, do your research. It's grapefruit seed extract. Again, the process, you need to dip every couple, two times a day at least. 3 is better. And you need to monitor because you want to stop the sprouting process as soon as you start to get small tails on your sprouts. I'm going to walk this over to the camera. And this is ready to be served. So, and as you can see, hopefully, that there are some very small, actually, some of these sprouts have started to get a little bit longer, but the smaller the tails, the better, because that's when you want to start serving this. Because if the tails get really long, that means the nutrition is being taken out of the sprout and has gone into the growth of the plant. So yes, it's still nutritious. It's better than not having that. But if you want the biggest bang for your buck, is to serve them when they are small like this. Also for serving, if you're doing the GSC, like I said, rinse that off before serving. You don't want to serve anything with GSC on it. Let's see. You can store this in your refrigerator for 3 to 5 days. I always smell everything before I serve it to my guys. If it smells funky, throw it out because it's gone bad. But I mean, even the way that these are constructed, I put them in my fridge like this. I put the ventilated top on there so they're still getting air. And I put it in the coolest part. Every fridge has that corner that gets really cold. Well, I put that in there. Okay. There's another avenue which I forgot about talking. When I'm sprouting a lot of seeds, you can use, these are produce bags. In fact, I encourage everybody to get these because it's great to go shopping with them. You're not continually having to use those awful plastic bags. And these are washable. They have the little tear right on the bag so that the people can take it off. And it's just environmentally friendly. And like I say, if you got like a 5-pound bag of garbanzo beans you want to sprout, that'll fit in, well, not this one, but a bigger one. So like when I sprout a bunch for the class, I'm using these because I only have a couple of these, and that's for my flock here. But when I'm sprouting for the class, I use these. And it's the same way with this. Same thing. You soak, you rinse, you let sprout. Let's see. What is really cool about sprouting too is that, but this book I received from Deanna Garrett as a gift, and it's called Gardens at Our Fingertips, and it's written by the couple who has created this. It's got a lot of great information in it, but what's really cool is that it has a little index so that you can almost, do your research on your birds. Find out what they are lacking in vitamin and mineral wise, and you can almost look up what seed has the necessary, has like vitamin A, vitamin C, calcium. All this is in here. You can almost custom make your own blend for your birds. Let's see. I sprout in small batches. Like I said, I usually have one in the fridge and one on the counter, so that my birds are always getting fresh sprouts every day. When I make chop in big batches, but the sprouts are always fresh. So that's what, at Parrot U we have the kits to start with, and then they also sell empty sprouters, so that you can do that too. And once you start it, it's easy. I mean, you get in that rhythm and you just start it, and you should try it too. That you can put sprouts in salads and smoothies, on your sandwiches. It's really, really, really delicious. And I believe that's it. That's all I have to say about sprouting. I'm gonna go to the other side of the phone, and if you have any questions, type them in, and I'll be over there to find them and answer them. And always, if you've learned something from this presentation, Parrot U could sure use a not Parrot U, Companion Parrots Free Home, well, and Parrot U, and you can come buy the stuff there. But always, we're a nonprofit organization. We survive on your generosity. So we are in the business to educate you to be the best bird owners that you can be. And if you can, like I said, if you've learned something, if you can go to our